Hello, hello. It's just a short little live. I'm eating the burger that I got from earlier on because I couldn't eat all of it at the beginning. So I was like, I've been literally writing this book. I'm on chapter 56. And I had to stop because not only is it tiring, but it's also emotional going through the feelings again, as well as other stuff. But yeah, so I just took a little break, and I was going to make myself a steak, but I ended up completely forgetting about it, which was really annoying, to be honest. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, hey, how are you, Bert? I need to come back on the agency because I think I got kicked off it. Oh, thank you. It's actually L'Oreal colour. No, not at all. But luckily I got out on good behaviour, and it was reduced from 18 months to 9 months. But because I was on remand for so long, they actually reduced it. So it was actually less time, and I'm out on tag until the 31st of December. I'm on like curfew, darling. I can't leave the house. Well, no, they wouldn't keep me in that long because literally there's no spaces in the prisons. So there's no space. So they want to get as many people out on tag as possible. But yes, I'm currently writing a book which is going to be available from Amazon soon. Its title is called Handcuffs and Hormones. And it's going to go in detail about my early life, as well as the person who groomed me into going and doing what I did, as well as remorseful, everything else. It's going to be quite a tearjerker and a catchy book. So that's something that I'm working on at the moment, and then I'm going to pitch it to publishers as well. My new post that I've just uploaded today has actually pictures of the suitcases, because they kind of lied on the on the pictures that they put on the newspapers. The suitcases were nothing like that. So the real suitcases are on there. Yeah, so I was groomed by a person who I fell in love with, and he knew my tea, and he introduced me to the people that were a part of the drug syndicate. And yes, I made bad choices, but also as well, I believe that if I hadn't have met him, I probably wouldn't have actually made those choices. But it's all in the book, darlings. It's all in the books. Anthony Borrett. Oh, well, that's my middle name. So Beth, if you go and type in Kira Borrett on a Google search, it will tell you everything you need to know. Well, that's the thing. I didn't get my coin because I was arrested at the airport, which meant that I wasn't able to get the coin. And I haven't been in contact with the people ever since either. In the end. Yeah. Yeah, it's... oh, excuse me. It's definitely been an interesting ride. Unfortunately, Pippa passed away while I was inside, which I'm really upset about, to be honest, because I really miss her a lot. She's buried in my mum's garden, but she was older than I thought she was, and she had a a stroke. But Mum said that she died in her arms, so she died peacefully, and she died surrounded by love. Yeah, could everyone put RIP to Pippa in the chat, please? Because, you know, she's in kitty heaven now. I doubt I'm going to get another pet, to be honest, because no one could ever replace her. She was like my life. So, you know, I'm a little bit upset about that as well. But she is buried in my mum's garden, so I can go and say my goodbyes to her. I was actually in prison when she passed. Yeah, so it's a little bit hard, to be honest, to... I mean, no one really gets over the loss of a pet. And, you know, it's even at night time as well. Like when I'm like ordering food and eating it, I kind of look around to see if she's there, because she always used to come up and like ask for food no matter what food I had. I mean, obviously she loved KFC, but no matter what food I had, she would be there. Like I was eating sushi last night, and she literally like would have been there begging for it, and she wasn't there. So, and I also had to clean off the leftover bits of her fur from the couch when I came in as well, when I came back on Tuesday. So that was like really upsetting as well, because it was almost like the final part of her that was like etched into the couch. Yeah, so truth, I met two lovely people while I was in prison, and if it hadn't been for them, I honestly think I wouldn't have survived, because they were such lovely people. One was a Jewish gay guy, also one was a Jewish LGBTQ, and the other one was a bi LGBTQ, and we became really good friends. Like we were the gruesome threesome, basically. We were hanging around with each other in the area where we could actually go outside and walk about in a circle, which was pointless, but that's what everyone was doing, was walking around in a circle to get exercise in the yard. And basically I became good friends with them, and we were inseparable, really. They were helping me while I was doing the job as well, in the prison. And when they actually left, I was actually quite upset, because it kind of felt like I'd had both my arms ripped from either side, because I couldn't really make friends with anybody else. I am also going to be suing Wormwood Scrubs, because while I was there, they paid no attention to my transition. They detransitioned me, basically, because I wasn't allowed any of my makeup, any clothing. I was literally walking around in a grey jumpsuit with breasts. And to be honest, even that was embarrassing, because I had to hide them under like 3 jumpers and t-shirts, because, I was literally a man walking around with boobs. And search Kira Bora, it will tell you what you need to know. Yeah, it was awful. Honestly, it was awful. Just type in Kira Bora, Murph, and it will tell you everything you need to know. I'm not going to go into detail on here, but anybody that's interested in my tea, they can go on there and it will tell you everything. the food was awful because they were still working on the COVID regime, so it was food being delivered to your door, so there was really no communication. And for the first week that I was there, I was also literally on vegetables and rice, because they put me on a whatchamacallit, a basic diet like chef's choice, which I hated because obviously being a carnivore, you know, I liked meat, so I was literally on that for ages, and then when they finally sorted it out, I was able to get on the proper menu. And yeah, I was very terrified. I tried to unalive myself twice. So they put me on an act, basically, where I had to be checked every half hour. And to be honest, majority of the nights in scrubs, I literally was just like staring in front of the mirror and crying my eyes out. Which was hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard. Yeah, the book is going to be available soon. I'm speaking to a publisher, but I'm also going to release it on Amazon as well. And it's quite intense because I've been meaning to do a novel for a long time, and you know, it's going back from where I first started to where I am now. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting read. So far I've done the 56 chapters, but the book itself will be about 300 pages. Thank you, Stanley, I appreciate that. Please do sign copies. Well, let me get it sorted first, and once the book is being created, then I will take it from there, whatever the publisher tells me to do. Megan, if you are interested, you can look online and just type in Kira Bora and it will tell you exactly what I did. I'm not proud of it, but sometimes we do things, especially as trans women, sometimes we do things in order to better ourselves, and it just so happens that I didn't better myself, I suffered the consequences. And hopefully this book and my tea will prevent other tea girls from going down the same route, because that's exactly what these men do, is they groom us into thinking things and groom us into doing things for them, under the frustration that they know that to raise the money for everything that we have is always going to be more difficult. Truth, a lot of tea girls do it, and it's a shame that it's come to that we get groomed into doing it. But sometimes, you know, especially when you are wanting to live your life, and with the way the NHS waiting lists are and everything, it could take forever. So you know, majority of us tea girls are forced into, well, not really forced, because I did make a decision, but it was for a considerable large amount of money to better my future. And you know, unfortunately it was just the wrong decision. But the good news is that I have personally decided to reapply as a prison officer, which I did speak to the people at Wayland, and they said that I could do it. So I put in the application last night, and I think what it was really, to be honest, was that I was scared in a way, because I didn't know what the reaction would be to being a trans officer and working in there. But when I was at Wayland, I actually met a trans officer who worked at Wayland, who also started excuse me, who also started their transition in when they were working, and they started from the male to where they are now. And she told me everything that she went through, and we kind of bonded a little bit as well, which I think was actually really nice. I've not seen you in ages. Where have you been? Shelley, if you type in Kira Boret, which is my real name, online, on Google, it will tell you exactly where I was. Yes, I did 2 trips prior. And the idea was supposed to be that I saved up for all of my surgeries, but the 2 trips prior prayed for my breast surgery. Because I got those done in England in the end. So let me just go back to the question as well. Why in the UK? Because I didn't feel in the end that Thailand would have been the place that I would have gone to. I think bottom surgery in Thailand or other countries is better, but in the end I trusted the UK company that I got them done with, which is a lovely company called Maya Surgeries in London, and they also handle trans people as well. I do, yeah, I do think that, because being a smuggler, Murph, I was able to finally enjoy extra things that I wouldn't normally enjoy. So yeah, I definitely think that greed did have a little part of it as well. Ashton, I got out of prison on Tuesday this week on tag. I'm currently on tag, and I'm on curfew between the hours of 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. Megan, my mum, was 100% supportive. She supported me from day one, when they actually made me call her when they asked if I could call her, and I broke down, told her the situation, and she says, "We're here for you." And she's been with me all the way through it. She even came with me to my first probation officer meeting as well. Absolutely, because now especially they've made it a law in Thailand that if you get caught anymore, you go to a Thai prison before they send you back to the UK. So the government pushed the Thai law to change the rules, because so many people were doing it over here. It's now part of the National Crime Agency, so they are really pushing it now to stop people from doing it, which hopefully will deter other people from bringing back those drugs from another country. Lee Allen, if you want to find out my tea, you can type in Kira Boret on Google search and you'll find everything you need to know. Yeah, Rosie Posey, I'm so glad that I didn't get caught in Thailand. But even if I would have got caught in Thailand, they wouldn't have done anything, because it's only over the past month that they've introduced this law over there, after they were pushed by the UK government to push for harder sentencing. So, Bert, could you invite me back into the agency again, if that's all right? Because I think I got booted out. And guys, apparently there's this rose thing that I'm trying to do as well that popped up. So if you can help with the roses and get that, we can then move up a little bit further as well. Bert, no worries. TikTok's changed so much in the time that I've been away. Literally, there's so much like on here now, like all these extra things that you have to do. So I'm kind of getting back in the process of it. But I did actually tell them that I was on TikTok when I was in prison. And they were like, "Oh wow, you can maybe use your platform as a tool to deter people and show remorse, basically. Yeah, that's better that they have the super fan thing now, to be honest. Oh, thank you so much, sweetie. I appreciate that, Roses. And that helps us with this thing as well that just popped up on the screen. Thank you, I appreciate that. What prison were you in when it was in the UK, Lee? They had me at Wormwood Scrubs in London first, because when they arrested me at Heathrow, I was sent into the courts, magistrates, and they remanded me at Wormwood Scrubs. And then the last month that I was transferred to Wayland afterwards, because they were only a remand prison. So once I was sentenced, then that's when they moved me to another prison. Yes, I have a beautiful pair of breasts, and honestly, I'm so happy with them. Cannabis should be legalized anyway. You don't. Yeah, honestly, it's so stupid that they had that law. But you know, I did break the law by bringing drugs back into the country. So, you know, I have to face the consequences. Prison, because I would have had bottom surgery, then they would have sent me to a female prison. But because I still had male genitalia, they said that I had to go to a male prison and suffer, basically. A man walking around in grey clothes with breasts. So the good thing was that they let me have showers privately, but they were also, when I first arrived at Scrubs, were supposed to do a meeting with me where all of the governor and everybody else sat me down and explained everything, but they completely denied my transition while I was in there. They didn't give me that meeting, and they literally just treated me as a male, and literally that was it, basically. So I am also in the process of currently suing Wormwood Scrubs for not providing me that facility where they should have, because when I spoke to Wayland, they said that they should have been like that the first day that I was there, and they didn't. Wayland did it, so if they could do it, I don't know why they didn't do it at Scrubs. So I am seeking a lawyer at the moment to further investigate that. There were other people in there. There was one trans girl, but she was illegal. She was actually from Brazil, but she didn't speak a word of English, so I couldn't really communicate with her as much as I'd want to. And then then she decided to, well, she didn't decide, but they moved her to immigration because they want to get as many people that are on immigration waiting out of the prison. So she left and went to immigration, where she was then, I imagine, sent back to Brazil. Yeah, I took my wig off because it was starting to hurt. So this is something that holds the wig in place. Hi Scrappy, how are you? Hope you're well. I'm just spilling my tea for anybody that wants to listen. Are we there now? Thank you for saying that. That's very kind of you, but there were days that I wasn't strong. And to be honest, I do feel still that I've struggles every day. Because I did miss out on a lot while I was inside, including the passing of my beloved cat. I'm just making you a moderator now, Frank. Here you go. But don't mute the trolls, because it's the algorithm and it helps people understand me. Yes, exactly. That's one of the benefits, is that I was out for Christmas. If I hadn't have gone out on tag, I would have actually been in for Christmas this year. They would have kept me in there until the 31st of December, and I realised that I shouldn't have actually gone down that path, because I should have waited and done it the right way as opposed to cutting corners. And hopefully by me telling what my tea is, it can deter other trans girls from getting involved in it, because they literally hunt us down and search and manipulate us into doing it. Go, if you search on Google, just type in Kira Borit, which is my real name, you'll be able to find all of my tea. It was horrible inside. They put me in Wormwood Scrubs male prison, where I was forced to detransition. Yeah, basically. So they rake no responsibility, because as far as they're concerned, I am groomed into doing it. So when it comes to the arrest, they actually have no problems. Like, you know, they wouldn't get in trouble, basically, because it would be all blamed on me. I am ashamed of myself, Danny Costa. No, I didn't get hormones when I was in jail. The only thing they provided me was my mental health medication and my HIV medication. So Gemini, it started off with receiving packages to my home address, and then after receiving packages, then they had discussions with me about surgeries and how much I could afford, and basically it took out from there pretty much. The person who I really cared for, who I thought had feelings for me as well, they used me and then introduced me to the gang, who then took me on as a runner, and paid for all of the trips and so forth, and the hotels and everything else. It's antiviral medication to stop me from getting more sick, basically. Oh, don't apologise. Don't apologise. It is what it is. They paid for my breast surgery, yes, because the first 2 times when I did it, I made enough to actually get the breasts done, and also seek other things that I needed. But it was also a good job that I did do, because I was able to use that money as well to keep my flat, because while I was inside, my benefits were stopped. I didn't have any means for making any money. So the money itself, Mum had in a safe at hers, and it was used to cover my expenses while I was in prison, so I could actually buy lots of nice things on the canteen, and also pay the rent. So when I got out, I didn't come out homeless, basically. So in a way, it was a good thing that did happen. But it was just a bad thing that it was used with crime money in order to for it to be achieved. I'm just going to put the phone on charge, guys. Just bear with me 1 second. Stopped before prison, wasn't they? No, they got that sorted, and I was back on my normal benefits. But when I went to prison, they stopped my PIP. And they also cancelled my universal credit as well. So I've had to reinstate everything today. I had an appointment with the job centre, and also I spoke to Pip as well. So it's all been sorted. Joe, if you want to find out my tea, then you just need to type in my real name, Kira Borit, sorry. And that will actually come up on Google with all of my tea. Yeah, I will get further support, Hayley. My probation officer is a really sweet lady, and she's going to be there for me for another year while I need her. And then after that year, that's when I get left alone. Yes, I declared all the money that I made on TikTok, but this is a brand new claim now, so all of the old money was paid off. And when they closed it, it basically was the end of a chapter. No, they weren't respectful of me being trans in prison. To answer your question, Ellie, they made me detransition. So I was not allowed my makeup. I wasn't allowed any item of feminine clothing. Literally, I was in a grey jumpsuit. That's what they called it, because it was just grey joggers and a t-shirt. And that was it. So I was basically, so I was completely put back to male status in the prison with breasts, basically. And even though I had breasts, they clearly saw that I had breasts. They basically just ignored the whole fact because I hadn't had the bottom surgery. So they made me live life in that prison as a male, basically. And there was a couple of times I tried to unalive myself, and they had to put me on an act where they checked me every 30 minutes because it was too intense. It did make me a target, Ellie, because I had a couple of prisoners coming up to me and asking me, did I want to give them a, I don't know how I would say it on here, fellatio, if I could say that, and that they wanted to kiss me. And that I was pretty. But I didn't obviously realise that they were, because obviously they were just because I had breasts, so they wanted that part of me, I guess. Even though, like, they obviously knew I was trans, because why would I have breasts? If that makes sense. Yeah, just bringing it all back, Dawn, is basically triggering me a little bit, to be honest. But I'm putting all of my feelings to paper, and the novel's going to be out soon. I'm currently liaisoning with Chat GBT, and we are creating a memoir book, which will have my beginnings through to where I am now, and self-preservation through my life, as well as positive messages and aspirations for the future. Well, yeah, I had to do it with ChatGPT because I have dyslexia, so for me it's difficult for pronunciation and punctuality, so I'm going to sort of get it done on there, but I've added all my thoughts and my life experiences to it, so it's basically a lot more easier for me. I'm hoping to get it done within the next couple of months or so, but I've got so much that I have to put into it, because there's just my life has been like a roller coaster, from top to bottom, where I started to where I am now, and even the future as well. It's still more that can be added. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one when it comes out. Lucy, my mum's doing very well. She had to go to hospital a few times because she had a kidney stone and she had to have that passed. But she's okay. She's a fighter, my mum. And she's been supportive through the entire thing. No, they didn't, funnily enough, because I haven't actually spoken to them, truth, because the day that I got arrested, I blocked his number, and obviously the WhatsApp was on a different number because while I was inside, they cancelled my old mobile contract, so I've had to take out a brand new mobile contract with a new number. And logging on to WhatsApp, it doesn't allow me to communicate with those people anymore. But they will all be in the book. Obviously I have to use alias names, but it will all be in there, explaining everything. Oh, absolutely. I'm going over there on Saturday because it's Charlie's birthday, my mum's husband, and Sunday I'm going over there as well. Funnily enough, Ellie, they weren't. No, and that's what was scary about it, is that they weren't scary people. They were literally just a group of lads from Essex, muscle bound, could be influencers if they wanted to be. Very good looking. One of them actually stayed out in Thailand, and the other 3 worked out from London. No, they were English, Lucy. They weren't Thai. They were like good-looking lads, basically, muscles, like people that you wouldn't turn away out of bed. Did they court to Sweetie? No, they didn't. I mean, I don't know because I haven't communicated with them, to be honest. I haven't been able to communicate with them because there's no access to the old mobile number anymore. So they could have got arrested. They definitely know that the drugs were seized. It was confiscated for evidence, yeah. And when I got sentenced, I got the lawyer that I had to get in contact with Border Force for them to release my mobile. So I have the same mobile. So one of them knows where I live because I was in a relationship with him, but he hasn't actually come after me. And the other 2, one's based in Thailand and the other 2 are based in London. And I think they just probably took it as like, you know, it's some people get through, some people don't. And I was more like an investment for them in a way, because they pick up, that's when they probably realised that it had gone pear-shaped. Well, I wouldn't really call it a relationship, Ellie. He would always contact me when he was high, basically. But he had a wife and kids. And, you know, he lived in my building before he moved out. And that's where we became romantically entwined. Hey, Raj. Well, honestly, I'm quite comfortable here, to be honest, and Sam as well, my landlady, she was really understanding about the whole court and prison thing. I spoke to her a few times in my cell. No, I can't travel for a year, Hayley, and if I do travel, I will be a lot more. They will be a lot more stricter on my checks as I go through different countries. Well, I'm hoping to get the book out in a couple of months, but there's a lot to put into it. So, like, I spent a long time today, like the first 56 chapters. And then I had to take a break because my brain was dead and tired, and on top of that also I haven't eaten anything yet apart from the leftover burger from Burger King that I got earlier on. It was a UK prison, Bella, yes. It was the worst one that you can think of. Wormwood Scrubs in London, which is an old Victorian prison, which also had rats. I will be on here again soon, yes. It is a good form of therapy because I'm able to express everything I've had bottled up inside to paper, basically. No, I didn't see the rats in my room, but when I cleaned the landing, because I got a job as a cleaner, I saw rat poop, which was in between the working out equipment that they had on the landing, because I was the one that had to sweep it up. And I did also see a baby rat as well in the yard, and it was like cleaning itself, and I spent like a whole time staring at it and watching it clean itself because it was obviously something interesting that was different. And then I never saw it again, to be honest. Mum did look after my cat, Justice, but unfortunately Pippa has passed away. She died comfortably. She had a stroke in my mum's arms, and she's buried in my mum's garden. So that's another thing that I'm upset about, is that I never got to say goodbye to Pippa. Did I know what was in the suitcase? I did know what was in the suitcase. They told me it was marijuana or marijuana, but it could have also been a Class A drug for all I know, because I was taking their word on it that it was marijuana. So, you know, even my lawyer said it was a good job that it was marijuana, because it could have been a Class A drug in there, and if it was, it would have been a completely different kettle of fish. So I took upon their word that it was marijuana. Hey Vicky, thanks for your question. I got out on Tuesday this week. So Chris, I was on remand in Wormwood Scrubs for about 4 months, 4 or 5 months I think it was. Yeah, so Jojo, they always got me good flights, and this last flight I was on business class as usual, and what happened was the flight arrived at 6 p.m. So 6 p.m. is obviously a time where it's rush hour, but it's also a time where they want to make extra money because they want to get extra time in and things like that. So that was the bad part, was that it was at that time, whereas all the previous times I'd done it, it was at 6 a.m. So I literally walked straight through, and there wasn't any border force or anything because it was early in the morning when no one was working. But it was just bad luck that I got caught at 6 p.m. instead of a normal time, because they used a different airline person to book the flight. Yeah, it was a different flight that was booked through a different agency, and the agency booked it in with a flight at 6 p.m. instead of 6 a.m. I did make you mod already, Frank, I thought. Yeah, I'm allowed to say I did it multiple times, because that's the reason why they sentenced me longer, because they didn't believe that I'd only gone over there the first time, because on my passport it clearly showed that I'd been to Thailand 2 times before. So the judge didn't really believe the story in her eyes, because even though there was no evidence to the fact, but to her, she basically put 2 and 2 together pretty much. I did keep the money from the other times, and that went towards my breast surgery, and also it went towards paying the rent while I was inside. So that way I came back to a house or a place rather than being homeless. Could you have seen the scanners and check-in people is not collected your luggage? No, they didn't even give me a chance to do that, to be honest, because hi HR, how are you, sweetie? Welcome. They couldn't do that because once the border force had caught me up with passport control, they I'm just trying to think, sorry, my brain's a little bit dead at the moment. They actually pulled me aside and waited with me for the suitcases. I did admit to what happened, and I think that's also what went in my favour, is that I was fully cooperative with the investigations. I handed over my phone as evidence, and I said that I was guilty from the get-go. So it not only gave me a reduced time in prison, which is what the lawyer said I should do, I basically also cooperated with them. Hey trans star, how are you, darling? I'm just spilling my tea to everybody because people wanted to know. Yeah, exactly. I admitted it, and that's what cooperated with their inquiries, and that went in my favour. So basically, Kai, they sent me to Wormwood Scrubs in London, and I had to completely detransition myself. They wouldn't let me have any of my makeup. They literally had me down as a male. They didn't care that I had breast surgery. They literally had me walking around in grey outfits. And it was awful. It was absolutely awful. And there's probably still going to trigger me a lot of things as well. Yeah, it was awful. It was awful, Kai. I tried to off myself twice. Had to be put on an act where they checked me every half hour, yeah, it was dark days. Most of the nights I just sat crying in front of the mirror. They are prescribed meds, yes. I mean, Pippa passed away while I was in prison, Kai, so I never got to say goodbye to her. And, you know, what I am doing to help me get through it, not only through that, but through my entire life's pain that I've gone through, I'm actually writing a novel, and what part of the transition that I'm at. But also, it's a way, hopefully, of stopping other sisters from going down that path as well, because it's so obvious, you know, that we need things, and these people are literally approaching trans females and getting them to do these things, because we're easy targets. So, you know, if I can do one thing from bringing out that book is, tell about exploitation, about how, you know, these men are targeting trans women in the UK to do it. But first, before anything, they're not telling you straight away what it's all about. What they're doing is they're tricking you into believing that they're caring for you, and then slowly introducing it bit by bit. I'm writing at the moment, so we're thinking about 3 months. So the first time it was £10,000. Yeah, absolutely. It was £10,000, Chris. So I didn't have to shave my head. I literally had. Honestly, guys, I'm not going to lie. It was awful. I couldn't shave. I started growing facial hair because I wasn't getting my testosterone blockers. I started hair growing back to the point where it looked like a landing strip because I had my male pattern baldness going on with a stripe down the middle. So literally, if you would see my prison ID, you wouldn't recognize me because they completely destroyed me in there. Mentally, body-wise, everything. It was just awful. Yes, they did. They denied me because I was on an act, Jojo. Tina, were they offering the same amount of money for the second time? Yes, it was the same amount of money as well. All in all, I earned about £20,000. And about 8,000 of that went on my breast job because I got them done in London at a place called Myers Clinic. No, it wasn't worth it, Faye. Not at all. And like I said, if I can stop another trans sister from going through the same thing, hopefully this will stop them from doing it. I am very remorseful. A bit of my life has been taken away, then I won't be able to get that back. I'm on a tag until December, so I'm on a curfew. I can't leave the house after 7 p.m, otherwise I'll get remanded back in and sent back to prison. So, you know, the cons outweigh the pros 100%. Yeah, exactly. I just made a stupid decision. Absolutely, Miss Faye. It is about learning from those 100%. And like I said, if I can stop another trans sister from going through what I went through, then it's gonna make it. It's gonna be better, basically, because we are targeted by these good-looking, like muscly. I wouldn't really say creators, but like, you know, they were good looking and they knew they were good looking, and they used my what's the word I'm looking for? They used my, I'm just trying to think of the word for it, like a proper word for it. They used my kindness, basically. And because they knew that I was the guy that I was speaking to, I was attracted to and was kind of dating on and off. He knew, yeah, exactly, vulnerabilities. And he knew that I was really needing and wanting to pursue my surgeries, because obviously being on the NHS waiting list and being in the gender clinic, it's a long time before you get anywhere. But eventually, you know, now I am, luckily, because I'm actually with the Notting Hill Gender Clinic and they are taking care of my transitioning. They know that I have breasts, but they have now put me on testosterone blockers, as well as the estrogen as well. And they're monitoring my care. So good things are happening, slowly, but yeah, basically. And so we've done the same thing. It's desperate for someone. Well, yeah, it's absolutely. Oh, thank you, Faye. I appreciate that. Can you unblock me as well? Because otherwise I won't be able to ask. Everyone have a silver lining. It does have a silver lining. It is correct 100%. No, it's not that one. I had to pay for it myself though. So £80 for a year's subscription. And then the hormones themselves, the estrogens, I got on the NHS. Have you gone private? No, I'm doing it all through the Notting Hill Gender Clinic. I was with Bupa, but I asked them. I asked them about it, and they said that they don't do that. When did you get released? I was released on Tuesday this week, Harry. About £750 left. But thank goodness that I did do those 2 runs before. I'm not proud of it, but thank goodness I did do those 2 runs, because if it hadn't have been for that, I wouldn't have had the money to pay the rent, and I would be homeless. But luckily Mum had the safe with all the money in there, and she sort of dished it out and paid the rent. Glad to see your face. Hope you're well. Yes and no, Harry. I'm still not used to having all this free time, and it's so quiet as well, which is really weird. Like the first night, I couldn't even go to sleep because like my mindset was like I couldn't sleep in my own bed, even though I'd been craving my own bed for so long. Like I couldn't sleep in it. Maybe because I was accustomed to like uncomfortable mattresses that dug into my rib cage. Yes and no. She didn't really know where the money was from, but she kind of put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, I finally got some sleep yesterday. I can travel in about a year's time, Kai, but the issue is that I will have a lot more of secondary appointments every time I go to another country, because it will be on my record that I smuggled drugs. So every country I go to, there will be a secondary screening. But as for leaving the UK, I can't leave the UK for 1 year. Which, to be honest, I don't plan on leaving the UK anytime soon.